Okay, in this video today, I want to quickly highlight the annotation capabilities within Flutter files. This will allow your end users, everyone in production, suppliers, everyone viewing the drawing, the ability to provide feedback back to the design team. So right within Flutter files, whether or not they're in the web application or in one of the mobile applications, as they're viewing the drawing, if they see a mistake, a typo, or they want to propose a design change, they can mark the drawing up and it gets sent back to the design team or someone specific within the design team that they select. And that is there. And so it facilitates that feedback, that workflow that will hopefully make your drawings more correct, more efficient process for providing that feedback to the design team. So we've logged into Flutter files, do a quick search for a generic term such as bearing, and you'll see we get a handful of results back. We find a particular item here, double click on it, make it full screen, and this is the PDF shown right in the browser. Now, if I want to mark this drawing up, you could print it out, mark it up by hand, take it to the design option. That's one option. But now with Flutter files, we can kind of automate that and make this much simpler. You click the annotation button and you select create annotation. This displays a toolbar here, the bottom right hand side, that can then be used, and we've got pencil, line, arrow, all the normal tools to mark the drawing up. So let's just do that real quick. We'll put a circle around or an oval around that. Let's draw a line down pointing to that, and then let's add some text that says change to 0.025, something like that. And then let's adjust the location of it slightly. Okay, that looks good there. We can change colors. We could do lots and lots of things. We could select it all as a group and then delete it all. But once we're done, we're happy with the markup. We've said we want to change this dimension. We could click Save. That's going to pop up a window here asking you some options. We could do something like testing the markup capability. Any notes that you want to add there. You can have it create a revision request. Think of a revision request as just like a formal way to track it within Flutter files, but it's really not necessary if you're just trying to provide feedback to a specific person within the design team or maybe the design team as a whole. Now, if you don't click the send to specific users, then everyone that is selected as someone that should receive annotations within your company settings will receive an email with a link to this annotation and will have access to the annotation. So typically that would be everyone on the design team, whatever your company admin has configured it to be. But you can send this to anyone in your company account. Now, it has to be someone within your company account, but you can simply enter an email address. We can enter my email address here. You could also enter a name. So we're going to enter a name of another account within, or another user within this account. You could even type in a user group name if you know what a user group is, or if you know a name of a user group such as engineering or something like that, you could type that in. It will parse that, find the users within that user group, and then send the emails to those people. Now, when you're using the send to specific user capability, only the person that creates the annotation, as well as the people that you send it to, will have access to that annotation. So it's limited to those people. So let's go ahead and click submit. We click submit. It says annotation is being saved. If you wait just a minute, it will reload it with the annotation once it is saved. That happens right now. Now, you could leave Flutter files before that was finished and it would still create it and it would still be there. Now, you will have received, the two people that was placed on the send to user will receive an email saying it was created. We're already viewing the annotation as is. If you tried to actually mark this up and maybe select the content there, you can't because it's been stamped into the PDF. So it's now part of that particular PDF. But if you return back to the item in Flutter files and you double click to view it, you'll notice that when it loads, there's no sight of that annotation. That annotation is not accessible to anyone other than the person that created it and the people that you send it to. So this hasn't changed the design. And even if you have access to it to view it, you would click this view annotations and you'll see there's the annotation listed there. You double click on it and it loads the annotation in the PDF. The email that you receive has a link directly to this annotation. So you click the link, it opens in your browser, specifically that particular annotation, and then you can click on this here and it will go back to the original item and you can compare the two. So that's a general overview of how to create annotations and kind of how they work within Flatter files. There's a lot more details around that. There's full documentation on the website that you can check out. In addition, everything that I've showed you today is identical on the iOS for iPhone and iPad application, as well as the Android application. So we have across the board support for markup, whether or not you're on your mobile device, if you're on your iPad, etc. All of that information, you can create that feedback, send it back to the design team. It works really great on a touch-enabled device, obviously. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. But I hope you like what you saw today with regard to annotations.